Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of Geeky Girls Knit. I'm Cece. I'm a Java Pearl on Ravelry,
I'm Damaris. I'm Princess Damaris on Ravelry.
and we're glad to have you here with us for our second episode. We want to say thank you to everyone who has commented or joined our Ravelry group and followed us on Twitter or liked us on Facebook, and for all the insights and comments. And we're really enjoying doing this for y'all. And so just keep letting us know what you think.
Okay, and now it's time for showing what projects we have on the needles. Okay, I'll start. I still have my Dalek on, like I did last week. I didn't get much done. Well, I got another row of baubles on it done, but that's it.
Was this before you had to rip out? Did you rip out before the podcast last week or after?
After. Yes, I was knitting while we were recording last week, and I realized after I had done some decreases that I did that entire row in the wrong color.
Oh, crap.
So I undid it and successfully picked up stitches.
Well, that's positive.
Well, I didn't undo the decreases. I ripped them out.
But still, you picked up the stitches, and that's progress from where you were a year ago.
Yes.
Because in the past, you would have just torn out the whole thing and started it over.
Yes, but a year ago I wouldn't be doing something like this.
That's true too. So see improvement. Yes. What else is on your needles?
I have my Simon Tam that I restarted last night. Right now it's just stitches. I haven't done anything on it.
Because you had to rip it out.
Yes, I ripped that out too.
It's okay. You're going to make some progress on it this week. Yes?
Yes.
So that you can show everybody next week.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what's on my needles right now? Well, my All the Shades of Truth, which I'm in the middle of a row. This is kind of bad, so it's kind of hard to show you. I made a lot of progress on this last week, actually. I'm trying to pick it up here. Okay. So these are all my colors.
That's all your colors.
Yeah, there's the green right there. Okay, so I finished section 1, which is kind of all curled up on this needle right now. It goes across like this, so that's all this. And then I picked up the stitches along the bottom of it and knit a stripe of the kind of burgundy cranberry. What's it called?
Valentine.
Valentine. It's the, what yarn is this? Perfection yarn by Kramer Yarns. So I picked up like 300 stitches along the bottom of it and knit those rows, and now I am doing 50 gazillion rows of fluff.
No, not 50 gazillion, like 53, was it? 53?
53, 50 gazillion. Might as well be.
No.
And sadly, at this point, with all of this yarn and all this knitting that I have done, it's only 36% complete.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's funny.
But it's mindless knitting. Okay, what else is on my needles? I have made no progress on my baby legs. Zilch.
That still sounds weird. Baby legs.
But it's memorable. I had a rough week last week. I'll talk about that in a little while. But so I made no progress on those. So that's the baby leg warmers that I'm designing. So hopefully this next week I can get some progress made on those. Okay. And this is another project I'm working on, and this is actually going to be a guessing game because we're going to see if y'all can figure out what I am doing. So, here's the project.
Brown and fuzzy.
It's brown and fuzzy. At this point, it's about 20% complete. I'm not going to tell you what it is. We're going to play a guessing game. And no fair guessing if we have talked about this project and you know what I'm making, because that's not fair, that's cheating. So, after a while, when we post the podcast, I'm going to post in our Ravelry group on the episode 2 thread for you to guess and see what I'm making. And whoever guesses right first will get their name mentioned on the next podcast. I don't know. Woohoo! Yay, you got it right. If somebody wants to donate a prize, I'd be more than happy to accept it on somebody else's behalf. Not a prize for me, a prize for somebody guessing. But okay, so here's what I'm making. It's brown and fuzzy.
Really fuzzy.
Really fuzzy. And that's all we're going to say about it. That's what's on the needles. All right, now it is time for finished projects. And I have some. Yay. Okay, here's my first finished project. Ta-ta-ta. There, hold it back. This is the Cascade Christmas stocking that I was working on last week. It is done, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll link it in the show notes. This is done with 5 different colors of Cascade 220. And it's got 3 sets of chart patterns in it. And you choose a pattern out of group A for here and here. Obviously, you choose 2 different patterns because those don't look alike. This is like candy cane stripes, and this is zigzag. You choose a pattern out of group B for here, the snowflakes, and then a pattern for group C for here, and then it's an afterthought heel. And I will be teaching a class on this the 3rd Saturday in October at our local yarn store, Yarnies. So this will be going to Yarnies next time we're up there to be displayed in the shop. But I had it almost finished last night, and I told Linda, our store owner, she could not have it yet because I had to show it to y'all first. So, there it is. I'm very proud of it, and it's done. All right, and here is another finished object I'm going to show you. I actually finished this one. Did I finish this one before the games or after? After the games, after the Ravelry games. This beauty is a shawl, a lovely big warm cozy shawl that it's 100 degrees outside today and I have it on. It is made with the 3S pattern, Amy Mead's 3S pattern, and the yarn, the yummy yarn it's made out of is Farm Genevieve. It's 50% Shetland wool and 50% mohair. And I'm telling you, this yarn like multiplied in my project bag. Like it was reproducing itself because I only had 260 yards of it. And this shawl is 59 inches by 27 inches after being blocked. It is massive. And I love it, and I can't wait for it to cool down so I can actually wear it because I'm sweltering already just having it on like that. That's all my finished projects. So what are you going to show us, Damaris?
Okay. I didn't actually make these. Cheated.
They were a gift for you, though.
Yes, but I didn't make them.
Well, they still kind of count, though. Okay.
Yeah, she gave them to me for Valentine's Day, and they are Doctor Who dishcloths. This is a Dalek. Exterminate. And I'm trying to find the right way. It says Bad Wolf.
Lift it up a little bit. There you go.
Yeah. And the TARDIS.
This one's hard to see. Okay, hold it up just a little higher and closer. It's hard to see that one. That one you can kind of see. That one's on a navy blue and it's hard to see.
And this, it says I heart Doctor Who because
go up this way.
Because Time Lords have 2 hearts.
I like that one the best.
And this is Sarah Jane Smith's Tin Dog K9.
Okay.
K9. And this is the logo, the new logo.
I don't know if you can see it. It's really hard to see on this black.
Yeah, you can't see it, but it's the logo, the new one.
We'll link to all these project pages so that you can see them better. These are all free patterns on Ravelry, and I just knit them up right quick for her for Valentine's Day because she likes Doctor Who so much.
I don't like Doctor Who.
You don't?
I love it.
Don't you mean you love it?
Maybe.
Maybe. What
And
else?
she also made me Tin's sonic screwdriver for Valentine's Day. Yeah, like that.
Cute. And that?
Is our finished projects.
That's right. It's time for a new segment we were going to call Yummies. Damaris thinks it's crazy.
It sounds weird.
It does not sound weird.
Like baby legs. When you think of yummy, you think of food, and we're not talking about food.
Well, we could be talking about food. Yummies to me, something is yummy to me if it's something that I really love or it's my favorite, my current favorite, because I always have lots of favorites.
You have like umpteen zillion favorites.
Yeah, with lots of exclamation points.
No, not the exclamation points.
That's one of my yummies. Okay, so I am on this group in Ravelry called, I just blanked, Chronic Stitchers. And we did a swap, and my package came yesterday. And I got some yummy sock yarn, hence the name Yummies. So this is Knit Pick Stroll fingering weight in the Dolly hand painted colorway.
It's got pinks and purples.
And the other one I got is the Knit Pick Stroll fingering, but in the Summer Blooms tonal. And it was really funny, Mare, when I looked this up last night to put it in my stash. I went over to Knit Picks to look at the other colorways because I was just curious what it was available in. And the description under this colorway said, "Is pink your signature color?" And I said, yes.
No, it isn't. No.
So this was perfect yarn for me. So I cannot wait to make some new socks out of my 2 new sock yarns. So those are my yummies. What's your yummy? What?
I wear a fez now. This is cool.
What?
I need a SWAT team ready to mobilize. Street maps covering all of Florida. Pot of coffee, 12 Jimmy Dodgers, and a fez.
In English, please?
A fez. Where's my fez?
On your head?
Richard Nixon wouldn't give the doctor a fez. So I say, where's my fez?
Okay, so show them what you did.
Oh, I knitted it. Yeah, and it has a tassel right there. And I stuck a piece of plastic inside it so the top would stay round.
And on random occasions, she puts it on and wears it.
And goes around quoting Doctor Who.
You go around quoting Doctor Who even when you're not wearing your fez.
Yes, I quote it by heart.
And those are our yummies for today. So, Damaris, it's been a big week for you this week.
Yeah, I started school yesterday.
Yep, 8th grade.
Yep.
Home school?
Yeah. I did school in my pajamas.
Yep. And I posted on Twitter yesterday saying, we started school, but I posted a picture, but we're still in our pajamas. And so last night before bed, I finally remembered to take a picture of her first day of school. So it was technically like end of your first day of school picture. Who knows? But it's been a big week beyond school.
What?
Who?
That's not cool. That is not cool. That's so not cool.
What?
It's not cool. See here, that's not cool.
Who are you? Who?
Stop. She's talking about Doctor Who, and it's annoying because I can't watch it because we don't have BBCA. And Stephen Moffat was taunting me on Twitter. He was just like, Daleks, divorce, Souffle surprise, or is that just me? I'm just like, that is not cool, Moffat. And I'm so hoping the Ponds don't get a divorce because they're just supposed to be together. So yeah.
And now there's something about dinosaurs?
On a spaceship!
Maybe we could knit them a scarf.
No, Mama! The Doctor rides a Triceratops. He's gonna ride a Triceratops.
Oh my. For those that don't know, I am not a Doctor Who fan. She's the Doctor Who. She and her daddy are the Doctor Who fans, not me.
Dinosaurs on a spaceship.
But you'll get to watch it eventually.
Eventually.
Are you still not reading the Twitter feeds?
Yes, I unfollowed BBC Doctor Who because they gave me a spoiler. And it was not cool.
No. So, how long will it be before you get to watch it?
I don't know. I'm hoping they'll be online, not just on BBC iPlayer, because you can't use that in the US.
That kind of stinks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But still, that wasn't cool.
Who? Okay, moving on to something else. In the Ravelry group, in our new Ravelry group this week, somebody asked me, and I can't remember who off the top of my head. I don't know. How my fibromyalgia affects my knitting. Because I talked a little bit last week about the fact that I have fibromyalgia, which is a chronic illness where I have chronic pain all the time. And it's also a lot of fatigue and a lot of times a real foggy brain and things like that. So for the most part, knitting is a very good distraction for me. It's very calming and relaxing to me most of the time, unless I'm like totally messing up on something and getting frustrated. But for the most part, it's very calming and relaxing, a good distraction from the pain and such. The problem comes about when I am having fibrofog, where my brain is not thinking clearly, where I can't concentrate very well. And in that case, that's when I have problems doing more intricate patterns. So that's why Baby Legs did not get anything done on it this past week, because I was in a really bad flare this past week and just couldn't focus very much on the intricate pattern. That's why All the Shades of Truth got a lot done, because it's all garter stitch. I guess the hardest thing with fibromyalgia is from one day to the next, I don't know how it's going to affect me. I don't know waking up from day to day whether I'm going to have a lot of energy, which is extremely rare, or if I'm going to have no energy, which is much more common, or somewhere in between. So I try to keep several projects going so that based on how I'm feeling and how clear my brain is, I can work on stuff. I think Tamara's dropped a stitch. Yeah. So that's kind of how it affects me. But I can tell you that since knitting is helpful to me with fibromyalgia, because it does keep me active, and it keeps my mind active, and so I'm not just sitting and focusing on the pain. It keeps me active doing other things and actually doing creative things. So I hope that answers your question. If not, or if you have more questions, feel free to post about that in our Ravelry group, and I'll be glad to answer them. Because, like I said, I'm a pretty open book. That could be a song.
What are we forming a band now?
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you want to be called?
Hold on, I'm going to think of something, Doctor Who.
Oh, no.
Fob watches.
No. No.
And now we're going to talk about what we're watching. Okay. On Monday, we started watching the last of the Lord of the Rings films, The Return of the King.
Yes.
And it's pretty freaking awesome.
Except for the spider.
Oh yeah, she was like having a panic attack when they were in Shalob's lair. She was having a panic attack. She was hiding behind her stocking, like, is it over? Is it over?
I was. And I totally flashed back to when Russ and I went and saw it in the theater and was having a panic attack in the theater with the spider. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry.
Talk about something else.
Okay. Yes, it's very awesome. And I liked the bit in Denethor's court when Pippin is singing the song, except for the bit when they cut to Denethor eating, because that's just weird. You can hear it. It's loud. But the song was very pretty, and Billy Boyd has an amazing voice. It's really good. So yeah, we're watching Lord of the Rings.
I think we're going to try to finish it tonight.
Yes.
Because we had midnight last night, so we didn't get to watch anything last night.
I'm probably going to cry.
Maybe so.
Yes.
We also watched this week a 2009 miniseries done by Sci-Fi. Big Bang reference.
Again.
Anyway, the miniseries was called Alice, and it was based on the story of Alice in Wonderland, but it is done in a casino, which was kind of interesting.
Well, actually, the palace is the casino. The Queen of Hearts palace is the casino.
Right.
Casino, not the whole world. Not all of Wonderland was a casino.
Well, right.
There.
Right. But they like bring people through the looking glass to try to steal their emotions. And who was in it?
Calm
Mimi.
We're not sure if that's how you say his name. Yeah. He plays Miles O'Brien in Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And
he played the King of Hearts in Alice.
Yes, and we were saying Picard sent him on an undercover away mission.
Yes.
And I was asking, why did he send his transporter chief on an away mission?
Have you noticed, though, that he has been in so many things?
Yes, he was in a Hallmark commercial.
You know what's really interesting to me is how many of science fiction actors and actresses are in so many different things.
Yeah.
It's like they have their own little world and they just pick and choose from that same palette of actors and actresses, almost.
Yeah.
But then it drives my brain crazy because I'm like, that person looks so familiar. Where do I know them from?
Yes.
Because like Terrell Rothery played the mom, Alice's mom, and I was like, where do I know her from? IMDb! And found out that she was the doctor on Stargate SG-1. Who else was in it? Hold on, I wrote notes. Katerina Scorsoni played Alice, and she's been in most recently Private Practice, but she also was in the TV series Missing several years ago. And adorable Matt Frewer, who's from Eureka, played the White Knight.
Yeah.
He's so funny. He cracks me up. I like him a lot.
Yes, and later, after we were done watching, they showed me Mac's headroom.
Oh.
Yeah. Matt Frewer, and I was like hiding behind the arm of her chair because it was creepy. It was creepy.
I know. And what have we been reading?
I'm still reading Lord of the Rings. Well, I finished it and I'm reading the appendices, and I need to get The Hobbit so I can read it.
That's right. I forgot. We need to request that from the library. I don't have it. I've read several books this week on my Kindle, but nothing that's just really been earth-shatteringly wonderful that I can think of. So I've been reading, but nothing really great. However, we did start a thread on the Ravelry group about what you're reading, and there's been several really good suggestions for books. So if you're looking for something to read, check that out. And now it's time for trivia.
Dun dun dun.
So, somebody suggested on the Ravelry group that we have some trivia. And right now the prize will be your name mentioned on the next podcast. I don't know. If someone wants to donate prizes, we gladly accept them.
For the people.
For the people, not for us.
Get it right. Yeah, we don't need prizes.
Well, we would like prizes, but
we don't need them.
We don't need them, but we would like them.
We don't need them.
No, we don't need them. Okay, so if somebody wants to donate prizes for our little trivia and for the guessing the brown thing contest, we would gladly accept them. So here is today's trivia question.
I made it up.
She did. She did very good. And to post your answer, post it in the episode 2 thread on the Ravelry group, which we will have a link to in the show notes and also at the end of the podcast. So here's the question. Tell us the significance of the phrase green ladder.
Not lantern.
Not lantern.
Ladder.
Ladder.
Green ladder.
From a TV show that we mentioned last week in episode 1. And to be chosen as the correct winner, you must tell us not only what TV show Green Ladder is significant in, but also what the episode title is that Green Lantern, I said Green Lantern, that Green Ladder is mentioned in. So again, tell us the significance of the phrase Green Ladder from a TV show that we talked about last week, and the episode title that Green Ladder is mentioned in. And we'll let you know who the winner is next week. Okay. Thanks for watching, y'all. It's wonderful to have you watching us and interacting with us, and we're very glad to have you. We'd like to dedicate this week's podcast to the memory of my great-uncle, Damaris's great-great-uncle, Tom Maloney, who passed away yesterday at the age of 92. I have very, very fond memories of Uncle Tom. He was a very creative man in his own right, a wonderful musician, and I can fondly remember begging just one more time for him to play the beer barrel polka so that my sister and I could dance around the living room. So you'll be missed, Uncle Tom, and all our love goes out to Aunt Lee and the rest of the family. With that, we will close episode 2 of Geeky Girls Knit. Almost couldn't say it. I'm Cece, Java Pearl on Ravelry, Javapurl.
And I'm Damaris, Princess Damaris on Ravelry. PrincessDamaris.
We have a group on Ravelry called Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. We have Twitter, Geeky Girls Knit. We have a Facebook page. We have our website that has the podcast and the show notes is geekygirlsknit.wordpress.com. And we're on iTunes now, so feel free to subscribe via iTunes. Also, we are on Blip TV, and we discovered after last week's episode that if you're trying to watch on your iPad or your iPhone, that it doesn't seem to work correctly if you try to watch on the WordPress site, but if you'll go straight to the Blip site, you can watch on your iPhone or your iPad. And we'll put links to that all in the Ravelry group. And once again, thanks for watching. Happy knitting, and we'll see you next week.
Live long and prosper.